Hello, my name's Tim Kenny from Tim Kenny Surveying, and a couple of weeks ago I did a little video talking about inspection routines, and one of the things I mentioned in that was how you can use your site notes to back up your inspection routine. You shouldn't try and make your inspection routine fit into your site notes. Now, hopefully I will in a little while produce a little video taking you through my site notes pro forma, giving you some idea how I use it and how you might be able to create your own and what you can take from that. Unfortunately, it's a little bit complicated. I need to do some screen sharing and bits and pieces like that, which I haven't yet worked out the best way to do. But when I do, I will do a little video, take you through it and show you what's there. But in the meantime, I thought I'd just do a short video just talking about some of the kit I use and the ways I take site notes physically, how I record those notes. And the first and most important thing I use for any kind of note taking is this digital camera. I happen to use a Panasonic Lumix, decent sturdy little compact camera with a good zoom, but any camera, there are so many on the market now that are good and suitable for this kind of work. But I would always encourage everyone to think about their site notes as think about their photographs, as a form of site notes. This is how you record the most important information that you'll take at that property. Now, it's not to say that your photograph should be the only form of site notes. It is the case that there are things that you're going to need to record in a different way because maybe they don't show up in a photograph, or they're the thinking. That's the bit that really should be included in the site notes. Which I do that on a tablet. So until about 2018, I was always pen and paper. And in fact, I still have my pen and paper equipment. It still lives in my car. I carry it with me to every inspection because technology does go wrong. Actually, touch wood, this one hasn't gone wrong. I've always used it, but I've still kept that. I've been using this one for almost 4 years, but it's still that nice sense of paranoia. I feel safe because I've got my paper notes there to use if I need them. But particularly, the tablet I use is a Microsoft Surface Pro, decent enough size. Can't remember exactly what the spec is. I don't think I was that interested at the time, if I'm honest. I went for kind of a mid-range spec because it seems to do everything I need to do. I don't use it as my main PC or my main laptop. I have a desktop that I use for most of my stuff. I literally just use this for site notes and a few other bits and pieces. And I find it really effective, really useful. I have put a decent sturdy cover on it because I do have a tendency to drop things. I've been quite careful with this, and actually getting over all the inspections I've done, I've not actually managed to damage it yet. It is still running pretty much just as well as when I first bought it. Battery life is still really good, still very functional. I only ever do one survey a day. If I needed to do two, probably would manage for that as well. Only downside is it does get quite hot, particularly on a sunny day, on a warm day. You will find yourself putting it down in the shade somewhere. I know other people have put them in fridges or in the cellar's freezer if you have to cool it down a little bit, because they can get a little bit hot, and when they get hot they don't work so well. Fundamentally, I still use this pretty much in the same way that I did my paper notes. So I've essentially just digitized my paper notes, put them into OneNote, and I write directly onto that kind of PDF template. Again, I hope I can take you guys through how that works and why I use that and the form of template that I use. But I think that's a kind of a good system for me. I'm working with a format that I'm kind of used to, have been doing for years, didn't take much change to move over to it. It's also a really nice flexible format. So I know there are different ways of doing it. There are programs with sort of drop down stuff and that feeds directly into a report and bits and pieces like that. But I actually quite like the flexibility of this. I can, again, as I said to you, I've made my notes fit my inspection routine. I haven't tried to kind of force it into a pattern that doesn't work. And I know a lot of those software applications, you can't change them, unless you're going to pay an awful lot of money and pay somebody to really change the programming. Whereas with this, I've been able to modify my notes to exactly what I want, and I'm constantly doing it. I've had a set of site notes that I've been using since 2007, I suppose. But they're always changing. I did the last update only sort of a few weeks ago, really. And I'll probably update it again at least once more this year, because I'm always trying to find the best way to do it, trying to edit it, trying to modify it, trying to make it as usable as I can. as efficient, as effective as I can to record the information in the best possible way, but also in the most efficient possible way. So that's what I like about the system that I use, and just, you know, having the tablet and being able to literally just scribble over the top of it. Other downside is it's not the best in terms of paper feel. So there's very little friction on the screen. I have got a cover on it that has increased that friction a little bit, but it's still not great. So handwriting quality is not great. It's legible. I mean, to be fair, my handwriting is quite poor to start with. I'm not the most kind of, I haven't got the best penmanship in the world, but it's, you know, it's good enough for what I need to do. I tend to make sure I write quite large, to make it really clear and visible. You obviously have the other great advantage is that you can kind of scroll, you can zoom in and zoom out on a document. So I say I'm essentially writing over a PDF, so I can zoom into that PDF, write on it, zoom out, so you can fit a lot more information in. You can zoom in to be able to write big, but actually it's only a small part on the screen. The other great thing about that is if you're doing any kind of drawing work, again, you can zoom in, you can draw a small detail in the drawing and zoom out. And then that simply then prints out to PDF, and I've got a stored copy of those notes or the file, storing as long as I need to, and backed up in the best possible way. So yeah, that's just kind of a brief rundown of kind of the starting point for sight notes for me, physically how you do it. As I say, once I get the bits and bobs worked out, I'll do another video just talking you through my template itself. All right, thank you very much.